Hey guys, how you doing? It's Phineas. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all doing fantastic. Been a couple of weeks since I made a video about the Big Berkey, and what I want to do going forward is really just do quick burst videos of tips of things that I'm learning, still learning, and I want to share them with you. And so don't want to take up too much of your time, just want to give you helpful tips. And what I'm about to show you today is something that I'm going to be suggesting for all of my future clients. If you don't know, I'm a hair mineral analysis consultant, and I put together advanced healing programs for people to shed toxins and get all the crap out of their soul. And so physically and mentally and spiritually, you hopefully become a new person, which happens to a lot of my clients, and it's happened to me, which is awesome. So yeah, today I'm going to talk about thymus tapping. This is something I have come across in spades in the last couple of months. I believe in the journey of awakening, things are brought to you when you need them. And all of a sudden I had an influx of information about EFT and thymus tapping. And I've always kind of looked at EFT and gone, yeah, not really my bag, to be honest. But I got to a point with something that I was dealing with, and I ordered a book, and that book was giving lots of advice, but one of the main things it was talking about was not so much EFT, but just thymus tapping. Now, if you don't know what thymus is, it's basically around here. I'm sorry, I'll get my chest out for you. Around there. It comes down here and up to about there, below your thyroid, below your, if you're a guy, your Adam's apple's there. If you're a girl, it's not. But if you come down here, it's about there. Yeah. So, and this lady, I can't remember the name of the book now. The book's called How to Heal Yourself When No One Else Can. She's got an amazing story about having Lyme's disease, and thymus tapping was one of the main things she did to get better. Amazing. And so literally, guys, I started doing this about 3 or 4 weeks ago. I read the book and she just said, like, every time you remember, whether you go to the toilet or on the tube, on the bus, wake up in the morning, go to bed at night, watching telly, whatever you're doing, cooking, just have a little time and tap, yeah, or like this, just a tap. Now, I started doing this, not really thinking about it, and about 2 weeks later, I started feeling really anxious. And it was the type of anxiety which reminded me of what I was like about 15 years ago when I worked in London as a media guy. And I was like, what the hell is going on? I'm just like, am I like just going into some sort of meltdown? Am I just kind of like, fear was pouring out of me, worthlessness, uselessness, all the dark energy kind of affirmations that I taught to myself back in the day, uncontrollably pouring out of me. And I was thinking to myself, okay, it must be like a toxic healing reaction. I'll do a bit of detox, a few supplements, that sort of thing. But it felt much stronger. And I did about 3 or 4 days of this. And then I remembered, oh my gosh, I've been tapping my thymus. And I looked it up, and there it was, deep-seated trauma and emotion. And one thing I've struggled with along the whole awakening path is bringing up my fears. I know they're there, and I know that they program my subconscious, and I've really struggled bringing them up. I've cleared quite a few, but the big ones are still kind of there, I feel. And all of a sudden, this fear was just coming at me from all directions. And I remembered I've been tapping my thymus. I'd also been doing a bit more tapping, this mainly here. I was also doing a little bit of chakra tapping, but this was the main one. I was tapping all the chakras. I was kind of tapping a bit here as well. Yeah, but this was the main one. And this is when I was like reminding myself to do it. And in the morning as a routine, I just tap the chakras, get the energy going, feel the energy buzzing a bit, tap here a bit, tap under the ribs. But really, this was the main one. And I really believe it has brought up a huge, deep belief system, and it was coming at me from all angles. And I remembered, and I was so relieved that it was that had done it. And I remembered a few days ago, and yeah, so relieved and so happy when I looked it up. I was like, wow, so simple, so effective. Now, you can bring up old traumas, old memories, and that's, well, belief systems, I believe, by tapping. But if you're scared or angry, or if any emotion's hitting you due to a situation in your life at the moment or whenever it happens, give the thymus a tap, because that will allow you to release that negative emotion that is happening to you if it's a present moment situation. The problem is when we don't release these emotions, they get stored in the body and they can cause us all sorts of subconscious problems with programming, and your mind will be telling you can't do this and you can't do that because all this is stored. Also, it can cause physical problems if the trauma is held. Trauma is not benign. Your chakras being blocked and energy centers blocked is not benign. I strongly believe it will cause you illness if it's not dealt with. And your life path will be very different if you don't deal with your fear and your energy points. And so to me, I was very happy that I brought some of the trauma up from years ago. But as human beings, we're very bad at releasing emotion. If you watch, if for instance, a rabbit gets chased by a fox and it survives, it'll hide in the bush for an hour and shake to get rid of that emotion. And what we're not very good at is expressing that emotion, like anger or fear, or letting it out somehow. Thymus tapping is really good for that, as is kind of just general tapping around the EFT points. If you don't know what EFT is, look it up. It's very simple tapping, very simple points, fingers, karate chop point, temples. Just give everything a little tap. Give everything a little tap. Can't go wrong. But thymus is the big one, apparently. This is the one that wants to release the most, I think. So really simple tip for you. Just tap a few times a day. See how it goes. But be ready to face your demons, because there's a likely, if you do it for a while, they will start to come out. And if they do, that's awesome. And then continue to tap. When you feel the fear or anger or irritability or whatever it is, continue to tap. Now, while you're tapping also, there's an important thing you should do when you're releasing emotion, is to breathe. Like this, slowly. And then you can make a sound like whatever emotion wants to come out your throat or your voice, let that emotion flood up and come out of you while you're tapping. If you're dealing with something big, I wasn't doing that to release the emotion. I was just tapping, and the emotion came up. And like last night and the day before and a couple of days previous to that, I was like, and I feel that something was released and that sort of thing, which is awesome and so simple, and it's free. So there you go. Free tip, free advice, thymus tapping, awesome. Just been introduced to it. I'm very glad that I was. So, okay guys, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, do subscribe. And if you haven't hit the notifications button, do so, because if you don't hit that little bell, you won't know when I've made a video. And so I want to continue making more, hopefully, in the future, and do more of them. And yeah, we've got quite a lot of people doing the hair analysis and advanced healing program that we do now, which is great. A lot of clients in Europe, a lot of clients in the UK. The science is growing. Hair mineral analysis is awesome if you haven't done it. Measures about 30 toxic metals and minerals, and it really is a great starting point for health. It's my go-to test as a nutritionist. It tells me the most about someone, and it's the most cost-effective as well. In fact, one test is just over £100, and it tells you so much about yourself, which if you go to the rest of the tests in alternative medicine would cost you thousands to get the same information. So, okay guys, love to you all. Hope you're all doing awesome, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.